Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Promising Young Woman. And I remember when this trailer came out with Toxic from like Britney Spears playing in the trailer, and Carey Mulligan just looking intimidating and sexy and just putting it all out there in this trailer, trying to go after men who pry upon women who are too drunk to do basically anything, and bringing them home and trying to do things with them. This trailer, when it came out, I think caught a lot of buzz. And then, of course, COVID happened and this film kept getting pushed back, and is now getting released for Christmas. Interesting time. But this film is written and directed by Fennell and is about a young woman, played by Carey Mulligan, who had dropped out of med school with her friend after her friend was raped by a group of young men, promising young men, who never were taken, this was never taken seriously, they were never punished, nothing was followed up with. And now Carey Mulligan winds up playing drunk and out of it to catch men in the act of trying to do things to her and then shaming them for it. And honestly, at first I thought like she was like murdering them. It's not that far. It doesn't go that far with what she's doing. She is calling them out on it, shaming them, and putting it out there. And the interesting thing is there's a lot of famous, like, supporting comedians, supporting actors, like young actors in this film playing all these guys, like McLovin's in it, and just so many different, like Adam Brody's in it. Sam Richardson's in it, and you just have all of these different actors, and there's different scenes and different parts showing those acts. But she also thinks that she found a really nice guy, played by Bo Burnham. And throughout the film, you have her trying to get retribution for, and to punish those that did wrong to her friend, who winds up dead and killing herself. And she feels like this guilt that she couldn't help her friend. And this is a lot. And it's very challenging in terms of the themes that it takes on. Because, like, is she doing something right? Is she doing something wrong? Is this really going to help the memory of her friend by trying to punish them? Going after the dean that didn't do anything. The lawyer that defended this guy that did this to her. And this film has a lot of twists and turns. This is a thrill ride. There's great suspense and tension throughout the film. The third act of this film really builds the tension and surprises you and takes the film in different kinds of directions. Honestly, probably the weakest part of this film, and really the main detraction that I had for the film, was parts in the center kind of fell into a lull of, like, I felt like I was watching a rom-com between Carey Mulligan's character, Bo Burnham's character, and yeah, they had chemistry together, but like I felt like that part of the film was never going to be as interesting as what happened before it, and then certainly what happened after it. And they do some fun things with it, some musical numbers. They really incorporate music in a fantastic way. Like, the last scene of this film would not be as great and as impactful as it is if it wasn't for the very, very inspired choice of music that they used during it. And you have Carey Mulligan giving one of the best performances I've ever seen from her, and she's a criminally underrated actress. She really can bring it, and in this film, she brings an intensity, a rawness, and she puts on different versions of herself, and she plays them all so well. And you feel the pain that's behind all of her actions, whether they're reasonable actions or they go a little too far. And this film is really a dark comedy in many ways. It's really funny, and honestly feel bad sometimes laughing at some of the things that are going on in the film, but it does it in such a smart and biting way. The dialogue, the way the themes are layered in here, this film will have you talking. and thinking about her actions, you'll question, and you'll be put into a tough moral gray area. And that's the thing. This film really seems like it's in so many shades of gray that it challenges you at each point. And you have situations where there's particular scene between Bo Burnham and Carey Mulligan later in the film that is really, really hard to watch because what is being brought to the table, and there's a reveal that is absolutely shocking and just heartbreaking. And Carey Mulligan's acting sells it. And the cinematography in this film is sharp. It is so thoughtful in how they frame everything. It is a beautiful film to watch. And it uses great use of music. It is tense, it's suspenseful, it's meaningful, and will have you talking and thinking about the themes of this film for days afterwards. It's one of those kinds of films. And the cast is fantastic. It's such a big ensemble. You have, like, Clancy Brown plays Carey Mulligan's father, and he has some great moments in a really small but a very important and significant role. You have Alfred Molina, who pops up a little bit in the film, that is showing the depth and the complexity of Carey Mulligan's character with how she reacts to his revelation in the film. There's so much going on here, above and below the surface. It hits with truly emotional moments, shocking moments, really funny moments. It has it all. This film is definitely a must-see, and it can make you feel uncomfortable. It probably should make you feel uncomfortable. It'll rub you in the wrong way. But I think it's that kind of feeling that needs to happen. And Promising Young Woman really achieves that. And I highly recommend checking out this film when you get a chance. But those are my thoughts on Promising Young Woman. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.